What makes a line of literature truly unforgettable? Is it the way it paints a vivid image in your mind, the emotions it stirs in your heart, or the way a single phrase can capture a universal truth in just a few words? Throughout history, literature has gifted us with lines that linger, words that define eras, shape cultures, and speak to the soul. Welcome to Lit and Rhetoric. Today, we embark on a journey across time and genres, revisiting 45 of the greatest lines in literature. Some will be familiar, others might introduce you to new authors and stories, but all of them are here for one reason: their undeniable power to move us. Journey through literary history. Our exploration spans centuries, capturing the essence of human experience through unforgettable words. Ancient to Renaissance, epic tales, classical wisdom, and Shakespearean brilliance. Romantic to modern, from the passion of romantic poetry to the bold experimentation of modernist prose. Contemporary and global, post-war revelations, children's classics, and diverse voices shaping today's literature. Special literary forms, plays, nonfiction, science fiction, and the enduring impact of poetry. So, what is it that makes a literary line stand the test of time? Imagery, words that create powerful, lasting pictures in our minds. Emotion, phrases that resonate with feelings universal to all of us. Universal truth, insights that reveal something deep about the human experience. Musical notes, memorable phrasing, the rhythm, sound, and structure that make a line impossible to forget. Sit back, relax, and let's dive into some of the most iconic lines ever written. Whether you're rediscovering old favorites or finding new literary loves, this is the perfect place to start. If you don't always have time to read, or you're not sure where to begin, let these lines be your guide. Now, let's begin our journey through literature,